Hey, John here from Grape and Granary, and today I'm going to be showing you how to can tomato sauce, kind of the way that some of our friends over in Italy can tomato sauce, really the same way. So let me kind of walk you through the process here a little bit. I'll show you some of the pieces of equipment. It's not too difficult because people who already make wine and beer a lot of times already have a lot of the equipment already at their house, so it's not a lot of equipment to buy, and it makes an excellent sauce. I use this for pasta sauce, tomato sauce, soups, you name it, chili. We don't boil anything else into the sauce, so when you open a bottle up, you can pretty much use it however you like. So let me show you some of the steps here, and let's get started over here. We've got a banjo burner here that a lot of beer brewers use for boiling beer, and I've got this happens to be a 26-gallon kettle only because I do so much tomato. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to be bringing about 10-15 gallons of water to a boil, and I'm going to put our tomatoes into that boiling water for about 5 minutes to parboil them. That will kind of loosen the skin of the tomato, and then we'll scoop them out with a scoop. We'll place them into our saucing machine here. The tomatoes will go down into the saucing machine, and this machine will separate the seeds and the skins from the sauce. So our sauce will come right out of this tray here, and all of our pulp and skins will shoot out over here, and we'll collect it here and toss it. As we go ahead and collect our sauce, we'll just take our sauce, pour it right into our bottling bucket. Again, another piece of equipment for wine and beer making. And we can go ahead and fill up our bottles. We're just using a standard 22-ounce brown beer bottle. I find these bottles are heavy, so they last for a long time. I've used these bottles for probably 4 years now. I just keep recycling them over and over again. 22 ounces seems to be a pretty good size for me because when I make pasta for 4 people, one 22-ounce bottle is enough sauce to sauce 1 pound of pasta, so it's perfect for 4 people. Also, when I make pizza sauce, one of these bottles would be enough sauce for 4 pizzas, so it's perfect size. So we'll go ahead and fill our bottle up with our sauce. Then we'll take our regular old beer crown capper, we'll cap the bottle, and then when I collected enough bottles, we'll go ahead and put them back into our stock pot, and we'll boil them for about 45 minutes. In a 26-gallon kettle like this, I can put about 46 or so 22-ounce beer bottles. What I'll do is I'll stack them in one row on the bottom, and then I'll put a plate on top of that, and I'll stack another row on top of that. We'll bring all that back up to a boil, and we'll go ahead and boil our bottles of sauce for about 45 minutes. That will basically can or sanitize them. A couple things you want to keep in mind. You really want to use, ideally, canning tomatoes. There are hybrid tomatoes out there that don't have the correct pH for canning purposes. So if it has a high pH, you're going to have to add citric acid or something in it to get the pH lower so that the sauce stays stable over time. You can get a shot of these. These are plum tomatoes that I'm using here, and we purchased these from a local farm. They're heirloom tomatoes, so they're not a hybrid. And when we sauce them, we can even check the pH if we want before canning them, make sure the pH is low enough. I believe the number is 3.8, what we're looking for, below 3.8 for a stable sauce. If it's not low enough, again, you can add citric acid. That's the same citric acid that beer and wine brewers would use for various purposes. Okay, so here's step one. We're going to parboil our tomatoes, which I've done. I'll scoop these tomatoes out with a nice big scooper like this. I'm going to put them into our tomato machine, saucing machine. Turn the machine on, and then we have a little plunger here. And we'll use the plunger to push the tomatoes down into the machine, you can see. Then you can see the sauce coming out, and you can also see the skins coming out the other side. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and fill the bottles. We want to leave about 2 inches of headspace in the bottle, because if you fill the bottle too high, the bottle will explode when we boil them.
Talking about a nice setup here.
Alright, once the bottle's filled, we're going to go ahead and cap it. This is just your standard beer brewer's bench capper, standard crown cap. Go ahead and cap them, and then they're going to go ahead and put them over here in the tank, and we'll start the boiling process.
Put them in.
So, get a shot of this over here. You can see me putting them inside the tank, and I'm going to line them up so we have a nice even layer across the top. We'll put a board on top of that, and then we'll put another row of bottles on top of that, and we'll bring it all to a boil, and we're going to boil it for 45 minutes. Alright, that's pretty much it. From about 6 bushels of tomato, we got about 130 22-ounce beer bottles full of sauce. And if you have any questions about this process, feel free to give me a call, John at Grape and Granary. You can find us on the web at www.thegrape.net. Thanks for watching.